Hey, it's Gavin here from the JKD Bootcamp, and today I was going to talk a little bit about the wooden dummy here. Sometimes it's called the Wing Chun Wooden Dummy because they come from Wing Chun Kung Fu. But they're actually a very useful tool for everything from doing your boxing, kickboxing to Kali, Filipino martial arts, and lots of stuff we do within our Jeet Kune Do program. So I was going to show you some of the things I did with mine. It actually has padded arms. The arms are actually made of metal and they have padding on it. And then they also have a friend of mine, I got the idea from a friend of mine who took tennis balls, just cut a little X in them and pushed them on the ends. So then you have something you can actually hit with weapons as well to work on your weapons training. So maybe I'll show you. These arms actually simulate kind of arms coming at you, whether it be a jab or whether it be a body shot. That's what they kind of represent. So they give you, rather than a heavy bag that you just sit there and kind of use your imagination, this is something that you can actually, if we were working on our boxing stuff, we could slip around it, land, whatever, work on parries, all that kind of stuff. But for today, I'm going to work on a little bit of the stuff that comes from our knife work and our weapons work. So the first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how I use these tennis balls using a training blade. And this here is an aluminum training blade. It has a really good weight to it, so it kind of represents the feel of a real knife, which is kind of cool. So what I can do is I can work on some of my lines of attack using these tennis balls as reference points for limbs coming at me. It could be with a weapon or whatever. And this will also help with our empty hand as well. So here we go. So I'm going to just play with some of these targets, just work on accuracy and speed. Okay, here we go. There we go. So the tennis balls are handy for working on some of your coordination, and I recommend going slow and then kind of working up and playing with it. So also, I can use a baton or a stick or whatever, and I can also go through some of the same attacks with the stick, whether I be hitting and retracting or hitting and following through. Some of the same lines. Just the same thing. Okay, and then also the next thing we do is empty hand. Some of our empty hand stuff comes from the weapons as well. Whereas just like a knife coming at you, the Filipinos would call it defanging the snake. And what that means is when the weapon comes at you, you want to take out that weapon arm, whether it be a punch or whether it be a knife or whatever. So sometimes you can't reach the body yet, or you just have this limb coming at you, and rather than just evade it or parry it without entering with a follow-up, so you can attack the limbs as they come close to you. So just like the knife, I'm going to do attacks on the limbs. One of my attacks is going to be with the front part of my knuckles. I'm going to hit the top of their fist, which would be up here, which is really fragile. The bones are very fragile. You hear about people spraining or breaking their hands just in hitting a heavy bag if they go too crazy or they don't have bag gloves or whatever. The hands are actually quite fragile. So we want to be careful with our own hands, but we also want to know that that's a good viable target to get a good pain reaction to make our entries a lot easier. So I'm going to drop my fist, front knuckles, on the top of their hand. As it comes in, I'm going to pop. Either hit it and retract it, or hit it and follow through. I might hit it and follow through and come into a kind of a shoulder roll, and I come back. Whatever. So I'm going to drop this down. Boom! That's our first one. Our second one is I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to, kind of like a back fist, my hand for whatever reason, it's over here, and I'm going to bring it down on top of the hand. These targets don't have to be exact, because later I might use them for the forearm, or I might use them in variations of different targets. But just showing you a few of the tools that they can be applied to different targets. So the first one here, dropping it down. Second one, dropping it down this way. So put this, bam, or bam. Could be a low one coming in for the body, bam, bam. Taking out the hand, getting a nice sting reaction that will make all your entries easier. The next one I'm going to show you here is just using your elbows to intercept. This would be when you're closer. When you're far away, you just hit that, but when you're closer, I'm going to take this elbow and drive it into the thing, to the fist. So this would be hitting the front of their fist. So this one here, this one here, this one, taking my lead elbow, driving it up to intercept with just that little bit of my elbow there. So just move around, taking that, letting them, they're basically going to punch your elbow. They're punching at your head, I'm going to intercept with my elbow right there. Okay, the next one here is I'm going to take out the bicep. I'm going to use my knuckles, and I have the option of doing it with a parry or without a parry. I can just evade and fire that shot in, punch the bicep, or I can parry and punch it, or I can follow through. Rather than retract it, I can follow right through with a parry or without a parry, either option. Okay, so that's taking out the bicep. Sometimes when I'm low already, kind of like a shoulder roll, I'm low, this is a nice setup for taking out the tricep. Kind of under the line right there. I'm here, the arm's coming at me, right there, the tricep. So, and then when we're this way, we can also use the other elbow. So I'm going to put this together in a little pattern, so this is kind of fun for repping it out. Okay? So the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to take this low punch, and I'm going to do a knuckle down this way, then a knuckle this way, then I'm going to take this arm up for here, now I'm going to turn my body, take out the bicep, take out the tricep, take out the other arm. So the one side looks like this. Boom, 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 boom. A little faster now. Now, we're going to add one little move here with our legs, basically to switch this up to the other side. So here I am here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to take my my leg here and this one here, my one, and I'm going to lift my knee up and circle it around. So now this becomes my lead. I'm going to use this hand. Hit, 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 like that. And then I can take this knee up, boom, swing it around and come back to the other side. So I'm back here again. So this is a nice little flow. I can do this, just rep these out. Boom, 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 boom. So you can rep out some of these destructions and play with them. And then you can just, the pattern's just for repping it out. But really you want to squash it in the end and you want to go freestyle really. And then you want to add stuff. So I might come in with instructions and I can do an arm bar right there. Or I might come up, trap. Or I might throw in a groin shot. Bam, 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 bam. And just play with it. Have fun.